friends, Harvey Michaels here. Welcome back to our wild ride with Danshui President Plunge Spear Bloom, a story that had me on the edge of my seat while writing it. I'm excited to share a taste with you today. If you're new here, go ahead and tap that like button and subscribe. You won't want to miss what's coming next. All right, let's jump in. Chapter 5, We Got Company. Military Intelligence, Sanjur Beach. In a frenzy of activity since the revelations about Black Pearl and the increased pace of new clues pointing to Sanjur, on-site crews searching Romeo's parking spot are linked by video line calls to desk-bound military intelligence in offices. Everyone doing what they could as fast as they could to find a hideout location in or around Sanjur. Their 4-van investigating team at the remote beachfront driveway were halfway through their second intense combing of the site. In a call, the ranking lieutenant said, "Pack it up, get ready to roll." "Where do we go?" the on-site officer, a strapping pimple-faced sergeant, asked the colonel. "We'll tell you when we know. Get packed up right away. Out." Minutes later, they were loading equipment onto 4-wheel dollies when something attracted the men packing things nearest the rocky beach. "Bomb!" One of them pointed and shouted. Only 2 kilometers north, a bright red flash expanded into an enormous blooming eruption of fire. The civilian-dressed soldiers knew what it was without knowing what it was. They knew the giant explosion was likely from the same plastic explosives the same team took samples from all night in Bali. But they didn't know it was the Black Pearl, the boat identified out of Danshui port, the boat the Zodiac met out at sea, which just returned and docked at the fishing village a few kilometers downhill from Sanjur. After the blast of sound and concussion swept over them, the young burly sergeant brought their attention back. "Let's go. Keep moving. Load it all up. We have to be ready." A-Team. Lao Da, A-Team leader, sees the Bali PD Humvee parked across the highway. The man in the Humvee driver's seat is staring straight at the parking Jeep. "That cop across the street is watching us. Don't look," he tells the other 3. "Be cool. Walk kind of slow. Tuck your gun under your belt until we're inside. Follow my lead on point. We're probably just going to mop up Romeo's mess, but stay heads up just in case. Let's go." Driving there, on straight sections of road, they snorted multiple tiny spoons of powdered cocaine and passed around a liter bottle of soda with a small pile of amphetamine diluted in the sweet drink. They figured they needed a boost because they felt so numb and half drunk still. From great thirst, they finished that bottle and a second one. Now Lao Da is struggling to maintain, to not fidget. His mind is blinking in drugged, paranoid flinches. Could I swim now? Am I breathing wrong? Was it right to bring IDs? Will we go south directly from here? He sees a black, empty pickup parked 20 meters up the road from the fish chopper entrance. He chalks it up to someone needing flood-proof parking. Many cars were ruined the last 24 hours by soaking in standing water the drivers did not expect to rise so high. This street was a flood-wise safe place to leave a vehicle. The A-Team might have thought more of it, but they were all way off their game. A few short hours ago, before passing out, they were jacked way up on cocaine and amphetamine and swimming deep in a Gaoliang heroin high, figuring they had at least 24 hours to kick up their heels. Romeo barely woke them with the urgent command to hurry over. From their mountaintop apartment, it took them 40 tire-whining, stomach-turning minutes in the same powerful Jeep that served them for 20 years. They planned to use it for one last job. Fish chopper. My eyes are glued to the smartphone screen of the image the drone camera is putting out from its rooftop perch. I see the driveway and road and a strip of gray horizon only. No evil cavalry. I can't help feeling a jolt of relief, but I know they are coming. Willie's message was sent 20 minutes ago. I quick dial Willie. He answers on the first ring. That was so frustrating when I couldn't reach you. Yeah, I was tied up away from my phone, I say. Willie, they are coming, we know. What else do we need to know? That's it. Kingfish made it plain. They are to kill everyone. Don't try to say Kingfish changed his mind. Hide or take them on, D. I'll be praying. We both hang up without spending one extra second on the phone. Ahua is wiping blood off of Coco, shaking his head in sympathy for his daughter. Mr. Wang Sanbao, he turns and says in a shaking voice, we were threatened and lied to. If we didn't do our part, they convinced us they would kill many more. You were not to be hurt. No one was to be killed. I am so sorry, sir. He looks directly, eyebrows turned down at the 82-year-old man. Returning Ahua's straight gaze, Sanbao nods. We were all to be killed, and I know about you and your daughter's situation, for so many years basically slaves to Kingfish. His voice is weakening. I interrupt them. You've got to get hidden downstairs and be ready to face the ones who are coming. I show them my phone's drone-fed image from outside. I tell Ahua about my upstairs plan. We'll know when they are coming in. Ahua's expression is at once stern. His eyes focus on some inward thought and he leans forward ready to go, barely 5 minutes since entering. We don't have time to get out of the building. We have to set up some kind of defense. Ahua, grab that gun. My focus is on my next move. Come on, Sanbao. Coco helps him to his feet. Each of us avoids stepping in the thick, slippery pools of Romeo's blood that stretch over the already slick-painted floor to the front door. We carefully make our way out the door onto the steel catwalk. Ahua closes the door. I chance a call to the only police I know we can trust, Colonel Sun. He answers on the first ring. I string together 30 seconds of words explaining. Right then, through the drone camera view, I see a strangely familiar large Jeep pulling up and parking on the edge of the parking lot. Gotta go, Colonel, we got company. Ahua overhears me and sees me gesture to him. They're outside. Ahua moves Coco and Sanbao down and past the steep ramp alongside the truck trailer. Try to hide somewhere by the trailer, I whisper intensely. They are getting out of their Jeep now. The 4 men are slow to exit their Jeep. See if you can come up with a diversion without giving away your position, maybe by the back door. Yes, I know what to do, Ahua quietly says, already behind the trailer next to the triple-wide rolled-down back door, Sanbao's arm over his shoulder. Good. My phone screen shows them forming up, 3 behind and 1 in the front. One last whisper, we don't have any more time. Paul Hu, edgy and nervous since the explosion downhill from him, all at once Paul's apprehension disappears, covered by a blanket of unnatural ease. Paul does not understand the sensation, but he welcomes it over the antsy feelings he shed. He is still calm, watching a large Jeep pull into the driveway of the warehouse. Paul flashes on a memory yesterday afternoon on the Guandu Bridge. Driving onto the bridge in the Peking super typhoon explosive winds, a big Jeep that same color was making its way over the same bridge. Paul remembers admiring the driver's skill. Slamming to a stop, Paul hears a bark of brakes on the patch of the driveway's cement. 4 men pour out of the Jeep and haltingly try to look unhurried. Officer Paul Hu is sure they are high or drunk or both, and by the unnatural way they walk facing exactly forward, Paul thinks they might be concealing weapons in front of their pants. Or I could be paranoid. The men go inside. Minutes later, Paul decides he is on the wrong side of the street. He turns the big Humvee engine over with a roar and looks for the approaching traffic before he pulls out on Highway 2 to turn around at the first break in the raised divider. He picks up the radio to call in, driving slowly with the window open, and then thinks twice about it. There's nothing to call in, yet. Moving out, he stiffens erect when from across the street he hears a gunshot. He is sure of it this time. He speeds up, and then from that same structure now behind him comes extremely loud clanging and grinding from some broken machinery, he guesses. Paul fights panic. Still no place to make a U-turn. There is a quick series of gunshots and then another shot from the same direction behind. He pushes the Humvee accelerator all the way down, dismayed, going much farther than he remembers it would take to turn around. A sense of urgency is building and feels hot inside Paul's arms and legs. He reaches a busy 5-way intersection. There are 2 side-by-side panel trucks, both waiting to turn left. Paul lays on the horn, and one driver drives ahead, missing his turn to let Paul go. Finally, making the wide U-turn, he hears another pair of gunshots and floors the Humvee again, surging forward. Paul no longer hears the raucous, tooth-grating sound of clattering and grinding metal as he approaches the building. Another gun fires from inside as Paul speeds nearer. He locks up the brakes, skidding to a stop just in front of the black pickup truck. Running diagonally in a direct line to the door, slowing near it, Paul goes into his police training stance. 4 more gunshots explode from inside. He holds up Chief Pan's big semi-automatic pistol with both of his hands. After a second, to make sure how, Paul switches the gun safety to the off position and advances into the fish chopper warehouse. And that's a wrap for today. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. What stood out to you? If you're enjoying the journey, please share with a friend. It means the world to me. Want to hold the whole Danshui President Plunge adventure in your hand? It's waiting for you on Amazon. And if you do, please leave a quick review. Until next time, take care. I'll be right here ready for the next chapter. See you then.